Namaste and welcome to Sonali Joshi's Astrojyoti Healing. In this video, we are going to see effects of solar eclipse that is happening on the 10th of June 2021 on all signs as well as in general what all of us can expect on this day. To those of you who are new to astrology, whenever eclipses happen, they usually happen in a pair. So this year we are going to have one eclipse, that is a lunar eclipse on 26th of May 2021, and from that pair the solar eclipse is going to be on 10th of June 2021. I am going to give the list of cities or countries from where this eclipse is visible. You can notice that there are some parts from where eclipse is not visible. However, eclipse means unsettled energy. Rahu and Ketu are conjunct Sun and Moon, or sometimes Ketu is conjunct Moon, and in the solar eclipse we have Sun and Moon conjunct with Rahu. This year the solar eclipse is happening in the nakshatra of Rohini in the sign of Taurus. We have Sun, Moon, Rahu and Mercury in the same sign, that is Taurus. That means if your sign or your lagna is Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo or Scorpio, then you will have direct impact of this eclipse. The planets Mars, Saturn and Jupiter are not in this eclipse, as well as Venus. But even if the planets are not in the part of eclipse, they are getting aspected, or somebody is aspecting them out of Rahu or Ketu. Let us hope this unsettled energy, once we know beforehand how to deal with it, the impact will be lesser than expected. The key to handle the eclipse, whether it is lunar eclipse or solar eclipse, is not to make any last minute changes. Do not take any decisions in a hurry. It could be a state of elevated emotions, but try to control your anger or frustration. Eclipse does not mean it is going to happen bad or everything is going to be bad for all signs. Before eclipse that happens on 10th of June, actual Sun and Rahu conjunction is on 30th, 31st or 1st of June. 30, 31st May or 1st of June. Those are the days. In addition to eclipse, one should be very careful about driving and operating any machinery. Also on those days, if you consider the Navamsha placements, the eclipse day as well as 30, 31st and 1st of June, there is a conjunction of Sun Saturn along with Rahu, or Sun Mars and Rahu, and those conjunctions indicate some hidden rage, hidden frustration and some type of extreme action taken due to that. We cannot control the global events, however we can control or try to control our reaction on small things, and hence taking all precautions, doing things with caution is always helpful. Now let us start from sign Aries to Pisces about how they will get impacted by the eclipse. If you have moon in Aries or ascendant in Aries, eclipse is happening in your second house. Second house is about your family values as well as finances. Make sure you keep your word and do not make any great investments or sudden changes into your portfolio. It is always good not to take any big decision during that week of eclipse. If you have moon in Taurus, the eclipse is happening in the sign of Taurus in the nakshatra of Rohini. Take care of your health and do not take any action out of revenge or jealousy. Always careful about what you are consuming and avoid extremes in any case. If you have Moon in Gemini, eclipse is happening in your 12th house. Be careful about your investments as well as your expenses. Also dealing with any hidden things, any secrets, sudden changes, you should be careful. Watch your word, and it is always good to not to make any change around the eclipse time. If you have Moon in Cancer, eclipse is happening in your 11th house. Take care of your investments. Make sure you are not making too many expectations from your network circles and avoid any extremes during the week of eclipse. Take care of your mother's health as well as take care of your emotional responses. Moon is a part of this eclipse, and hence you should try to make sure that you are dealing with things with caution as well as with calmness. If you have Moon in Leo, eclipse is happening in your 10th house. 10th house is about your father, your boss, or your work environment, as well as how society looks at you. Do not make any extreme changes at the workplace. Try to deal with whatever the situations are with calmness, and once the eclipse is over, you can think about what changes you can make, how you can change your strategy. If you have Moon in Virgo or Ascendant in Virgo, Kanya Rashi, eclipse is happening in your 9th house. 9th house is about your philosophies, your religious views. It is also about the things that you do together as a group. So just make sure while dealing with your advisors or dealing with your mentors, do not create any situation that is difficult to handle. It's always good to think about it later once the eclipse is over and then make any changes if needed. If you have Moon in Libra, Ascendant in Libra, Tula Rashi, fortunately your Rashi Lord or your Lagna Lord, that is Venus, is not a part of this eclipse. However, eclipse is happening in the sign of Taurus, and this is happening into your 8th house. 8th house is about sudden things. It is about something that we don't know. It is about our subconscious fears, and hence do not make any changes related to your will or inheritance or insurance related things. Let the eclipse be over and then you can think about making any changes. Just remember, eclipse is the time of unsettled energy, and hence we need to have caution whether eclipse is visible from your city or not. If you have Moon in Scorpio, Ascendant in Scorpio, eclipse is happening in your 7th house. That means the people you are dealing with, anybody else other than your family, maybe your customers, maybe your business people, partners, or your spouse, you may notice there could be sudden change in behavior of those people, but just have caution, handle things with calmness, and once the eclipse is over, you can make any changes. Fortunately for Scorpio, your Rashi Lord, Lagna Lord Mars is not a part of this eclipse, but we do sense some hidden rage, passiveness, some passive anger. So it is always better to take things with caution as well as calmness. If you have Moon in Sagittarius, Ascendant in Sagittarius, Dhanu Rashi, this eclipse is happening into your 6th house. 6th house is usually about your competition. At the same time, it is about your debts. It is about your debts as well as your physical issues. It is about some kind of imbalance. Hence, make sure you are not trying to get over your competition in a hurry. There could be something that you can handle with a lot of patience and have some caution. It is always better not to push any kind of dispute or try to hurry to solve some issues. It's always good, let the eclipse be over and then do it. You will be able to do it since sun is about the focus, and sun changes every month, so your focus will change every month, and this month later in the June you can take care of whatever disputes you want to handle. If you have moon in Capricorn, ascendant in Capricorn, Makar Rashi, eclipse is happening into your 5th house. 5th house is about your Purva Punya. It is about your creativity, your kids as well as education. So if you are taking any exam or you are planning for family or you are working with kids, make sure do not make any last minute changes in the week of eclipse. Fortunately, Saturn is not the part of the eclipse. However, Saturn has become retrograde from 23rd of May. And Saturn is about our karma. So don't get frustrated with something that you have to repeat. Just do it, and once you are aware of the unsettled energy around eclipse, you will be able to handle it in a better way. If you have moon in Aquarius, ascendant in Aquarius, Kumbha Rashi, eclipse is happening in your 4th house. 4th house is about your family, your mother, and it is about all the possessions that you have, your properties, vehicles. So remember, you drive carefully, do not make any changes in the week of eclipse or around that date. Typically avoid May 30th, 31st, 1st of June and 10th of June to make any last minute changes. Remember, 4th house is also about your emotional, mental happiness. Try to be calm, try to take things slowly, and then you will be able to solve whatever issues that are happening in that time frame. Aquarius folks are typically about big networks, big systems. So you may notice that suddenly certain friends are behaving differently, but that is okay, don't react. Eclipse is not the time to react about anything that you don't agree with. Just wait, let a week pass, and then you can do whatever decision you want to take about things. If you have moon in Pisces, ascendant in Pisces, Meena Rashi, eclipse is happening into your 3rd house. 3rd house is about your courage, your efforts, and you may notice that you will have so many plans and you are trying to push things, you are trying to do projects with different ideas. However, it is time to slow down, don't push things. They will happen naturally once the eclipse is over. Fortunately, your Rashi Lord or Ascendant Lord, that is Jupiter, is not a part of this eclipse. Still, you may have certain teammates, or you may know certain people who may not be contributing to your ideas right now. So hence it's a best way to slow down and work on things later. Eclipse is about unsettled energy. Most of us don't know what will exactly happen immediately, hence having caution, taking a lot of precaution is always advisable. As far as following any rituals of like Sutak and all is not applicable if the eclipse is not visible from your city or your country. This eclipse is not visible from India, and hence people do not follow any rituals related to Sutak. However, any eclipse is a great time to do meditation, do sadhana, focus on your research work, or it is a great time for doing donations. So whether you are living in India, UK or United States, make sure you do donations on this day. Use all this time for your studies as well as your research. Whatever upasana you want to do, you can chant Om Namah Shivaya, you may chant Rahu mantra, or you can do the japa or mantra related to your own family god or goddess, Kuladevat or Kuladevata. And as far as watching the eclipse goes, never watch solar eclipse with your naked eyes. It's always advisable to use the special goggles made for watching eclipse. If you are expecting you are pregnant, it is a good idea to use all this time frame in the work that you are doing, whatever research or sadhana you want to do. Usually, going by the ancient texts, pregnant women are asked to stay away from watching the eclipse, and the reason behind that is, first thing, you should not have any adverse physical effects. At the same time, it is about the unsettled energy, the emotional ups and downs, and we do not want you to get affected with that. So carry out your work, whether it is inside the house or working from home. Just continue and make sure you have all the positive thoughts in your mind. Eclipse is a certain time frame. It's not a everlasting phenomena. So once that eclipse is over, all of us can resume our regular work. Rather, we can use all this concentrated energy to do the best in our lifetimes. I am making another video regarding what professions or careers or fields can get affected with this eclipse. Do watch that video and see how your profession is getting affected after this. Hope this helps all of you to understand what we can do, what rituals we can do, and what we can avoid on the day of eclipse or the week of eclipse. Please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Namaste. Thank you. Shubham Astu.